Hello and welcome to LSO St Luke's, to this, our 4th concert in the Summer Short series. Thank you so much for joining us for the last 3 weeks, and it's a pleasure to have you back with us here today. These concerts have been made possible by a bequest by the late Ms Denise Antenen, who was a regular attender at concerts here at LSO St Luke's. We are also thankful to our technical partner, Yamaha Professional Audio, for making this series possible. And we're also grateful to all of you for continuing to connect with the LSO through these last few months via LSO Always Playing. It's possible to continue your support by making a donation via the LSO website or via text, the details of which you can find on your screen. The details are also included in our digital programme notes, which are available on lso.co.uk/programmes. At the end of the concert, there will be time for a Q&A. So if you have any burning questions for our performers today, please feel free to submit them in the live chat during the YouTube stream. Our performers today are Rhys Watkins, who is a member of the LSO's first violin section, and he is joined by his wife, Rowena Calvert, on cello. Their first piece is Scarlatti's Sonata in D minor, which was originally written for keyboard, but Rhys has arranged it for this particular instrumental duo. Please welcome Rhys Watkins and Rowena Calvert.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to you all from wherever in the world you're watching. My name is Rhys Watkins. I'm a member of the first violin section of the London Symphony Orchestra, and it's a great pleasure for me today to share the stage with my wife, Rowena Calvert, former cellist of the Cavalieri String Quartet. That was a little bit of Scarlatti. It was actually the first of his 555 piano sonatas. It's our very first arrangement, actually. It's the first time we've arranged one of Scarlatti's sonatas for violin and cello, and they're all absolutely incredible sonatas. Like, there's so many of them, but they're all written in the same way. They have this sort of binary two-part form, and the way he treats harmony is so inventive, and his phrasing is just incredible, really irregular and unusual. So it's every one of them is completely different and exists in its own right. We're going to move on now to a piece by Henrikh Wieniawski. Wieniawski was himself a virtuoso Polish violinist whose contribution to the violin repertoire was incredible. He's written two phenomenal violin concertos, the second of which is very, very well known, and also lots of highly virtuosic violin and piano pieces, Scherzo Tarantelle being one of those. He also wrote 8 Etude Caprices for 2 violins, and we've arranged the first one of those for you now. His approach to the duos was basically slightly unusual in that he had like a violin part with an accompaniment with it, rather than the usual duo of 2 equal parts. It's almost like he wrote it with teacher and pupil relationship in mind. So each different etude focuses on a different technical problem or difficulty, and some of them, in fact all of them, can be played just as one of the violinists by itself. Often the 4th and the 5th etude are played with piano accompaniment, but this one, number 1 in G minor, we thought was definitely the best one that could be arranged for violin and cello. It starts very equally with the violin and cello in a beautiful mellifluous duo before the violin separates and goes off to focus on trills, which is a technical difficulty that I have, certainly. So, and then Rowie continues and she plays the melody while I go about my trilling. Also, after that, we're going to play a piece, a very well-known piece by Samuel Coleridge-Taylor, Deep River. It's an incredible American Negro spiritual, the most melodic part of the concert, a beautiful piece, and we really hope you enjoy listening to that. So Wieniawski, followed by Coleridge-Taylor. So the next piece we're going to play is an arrangement by Simon Parkin, the composer, pianist, and arranger of Paganini's 24th Caprice. Paganini, of course, was one of the most incredible virtuoso violinists of his day, renowned the world over for writing and really pushing the boundaries of what was technically capable for violinists of the time and even of this time. He wrote a huge amount of repertoire again for the violin, 6 violin concertos, but amongst what he wrote were the 24 caprices. And the very last caprice, number 24, is basically a theme and variations. And Simon Parkin has taken that as inspiration for writing his, I mean, it really is, it's not an arrangement as such, it really, this should exist as its own piece because he uses the theme, and even that is slightly different, and he has variations which go through all the different styles of music, from jazz, rock and roll, even through sort of piazzolla, my favorite variation. It really is an outstanding arrangement for violin and cello, and one that we've had enormous fun putting together and playing for you today. We're also going to play Castillo Interior, then by Peteris Vasks, the Latvian composer. Vasks, of course, is still alive today. He wrote this piece, and honestly, it is possibly the most beautiful piece that I've played for any combination of instruments. It really is an amazing work. I'm really happy that we can play it for you today. It was championed by the cellist Solga Beta, and the inspiration for Vasks in writing it was the 16th century mystic and saint, Teresa of Avila. So it's very kind of spiritual and meditative, and in typical Vasks style, he has this sort of these totally contrasting sections. You have these, serene, almost hymn-like sections, followed by this very chaotic and energetic writing. I guess you could think of it, maybe his concept for the piece was that the more meditative sections were, to evoke the soul, if you like, of Saint Teresa, and then that being contrasted with the energy and the chaoticness of the outside world. So it's a really incredible piece, and one that we've enjoyed performing a lot over the years, and we'll do for you now. So we hope you enjoy. This is Paganini Caprice number 24, arranged by Simon Parkin, followed by Vasks Castillo Interior. And so the final piece of our program today is going to be the Czardas by the Italian violinist and composer Vittorio Monti. Vittorio Monti was himself a virtuoso violinist. He toured all around Europe playing as a soloist. He was even concertmaster in one of the orchestras in France. And although has composed a few pieces for violin, only this one really, the Czardas, the traditional Hungarian dance version, is well known. So we hope you enjoy. This is yet again another arrangement by Simon Parkin for violin and cello. It's a fun piece and yeah, a real race to the finish line. So we hope you all enjoy, and we look forward to answering any questions you may have for us at the end of the concert. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much, Rhys and Rowena, for bringing this fabulous program to LSO St Luke's. We've now got a bit of time for Q&A, so whilst you just catch your breath for a minute, I will just remind our online audience that if you still want to ask a question about what you've just heard about our performers, who they are, what they do, then please feel free to submit your questions into the live chat in the YouTube stream, and they will magically appear before me. So while we wait for that, I'm going to kick off with my own first question and just ask you, what's it like now performing again live to our online audience?
Well, I mean, it's quite an emotional thing. I haven't done a concert really since March, and we've been making do with a few live stream things from our living room, but playing to your living room bookcase or your fridge in the kitchen is absolutely not the same as playing in a beautiful hall like LSO St Luke's or the Barbican. So it's really special and wonderful and meaningful to know that people are sitting at home and enjoying what we're doing, which is, of course, why we play. So it's been really a fantastic opportunity today to get the chance to do that again. So thank you.
And Rhys, how about you?
Yeah, just to echo those words exactly. It's been, walking in here today. This is our rehearsal space for the orchestra, for the LSO. It's where we do and have done all our rehearsals, and we've done concerts in here for years. And today I realized, it's been 4 months, over 4 months since I was last in here. And it's not until you kind of have those realizations, you think, whoa, yeah, it really has been that long now. Yeah. And yeah, it's just very emotional, really. Yes. I didn't think I'd say that, but it is, just to be on stage and especially to be sharing the stage with Rowie as well. Yes. Here, it's just fantastic. Yeah, really nice.
That's so lovely. And the two of you, obviously, you are husband and wife. There's a question here from David Harmon, who's been watching online. Did you have much time for duo playing before now, or is this COVID silver lining?
Yeah, I think, do you know what? It's funny, we've been married now for 8 years, and honestly, I can count on one hand the amount of times we've played together. Yeah. It's crazy, actually. We never worked together. We've never hardly played together. So in some ways, COVID was a blessing in disguise for us, because we've suddenly got all this repertoire together. We had time on our hands, and time to rehearse and learn things, which it's always hard, especially when you've got a baby in the house to seems to rob you of all time to do anything. But yeah, it's been 4 months. We've spent quite a bit of it just playing and arranging and rehearsing, which has been really new and fresh and great.
That's brilliant. Of course, rehearsing's easier when you don't have to socially distance if you're in the same household, so that's lovely. Another question from the online audience. Have you done lots of your own arrangements, or are these all new? Because you've been arranging some of this music.
Well, as Rhys said, playing duos is something we've always wanted to do, and it is something which is fairly new to us. Yeah. And the core repertoire of violoncello, it's not very big. In fact, it's really down to about 4 or 5 pieces. Yeah. And we made a decision from the beginning that we're very fortunate to know fabulous people like Simon Parkin, who's the world's best arranger. And we thought, why don't we make it our thing to just play our own arrangements of new music? And as you've noticed in this program, we've stayed away from all of the mainstream repertoire, not because it isn't fantastic, but just because it's an opportunity to play new music and explore new repertoire, and it's something we've really enjoyed doing.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's been hugely varied as well, like just the variations you've had in that program of different feels, different styles, different levels of difficulty. I mean, there's another question here online. How does it feel to play to no applause? It must be quite challenging as a performer. You're so used to receiving the applause at the end of your performance. This is obviously slightly different.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, it is a shock. Yeah, it's a real shock. It's slightly awkward. But, you get used to it very quickly, and you think, actually, to play to a hall which doesn't have an audience in also has its perks. I always find that when we do concerts, you do the rehearsal, and places sound so nice without an audience. You get this lovely bloom of an acoustic, and then the audience arrives, and then, bosh, gone, sucked dry.
They'll never come back.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, to have the rehearsal in here, 2 hours ago, and now to do it again, with no one in it. It's like there was no sudden surprises. So so yeah, in some ways.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, in some ways it's quite nice.
Of course you are looking forward to performing to a live audience again, of course. What about the orchestra? Because Rhys, obviously you're a member of the London Symphony Orchestra. What are you looking forward to the most when you do get to play with your colleagues again in the full orchestra?
Oh, I mean, I think it's the camaraderie more than anything. You know, when you play with the LSO, it's like you're riding a wave. Actually, it's such a huge thing, and you just to be a part of that is a thrill. It really is. It's in concert, live in concert. I'll never forget the first concert I did with them, and that memory has always stayed with me. It was such a tremendous buzz, and the fact that you're on stage making this huge volume of sound with all your colleagues who you respect enormously. Like there's every day I sit down with the LSO, I look around and I think, wow, really, like I'm here listening to these guys every day. It's just it's an amazing thing to be a part of, and they time and time again they do the best concerts, regardless of where they are, how tired they are, how much traveling there's been. It's just they always rise to it every single time. And I've missed that. I have really missed that. I can't wait to get back into it again.
So when you do get into it, there's a really good question from someone who's watching online. I do apologise if I get the pronunciation of the name wrong, which is Abhijit Manu. I do apologise if that's wrong. Who has asked, which would be the first piece you really want to perform as part of the orchestra? Which piece of music have you missed playing with the orchestra?
Oh, that's a good question. Which piece have I missed? You know, in some ways, you kind of want to go back in with something nice and easy, but at the same time, you know, you just want to dive headfirst into Mahler 9 or something like that, something you know seriously emotional. And but I think you know any repertoire with them is just whatever the program is. There's nothing that I would say stands out for me. Everything they do, they're so able just to adjust to whatever the music, Russian, French, English, anything. Everything is just great.
I mean, you sort of answered it, but we have got a question from Maxine, who is a member of the LSO First Violins, your colleague. She asks, do you miss your colleagues? Maxine is a member of the First Violin section who performed the first summer short, in fact.
Of course. No, I've been bombarded with WhatsApp messages. We've actually, for the first time, got a First Violin WhatsApp group, which we've never actually been so in the loop with each other. You know, it's been really nice. You know, I think all the different sections in the orchestra have got these kind of WhatsApp groups, ways of keeping in touch. Since 4 months ago, we were just sort of left feeling completely shocked by what was happening, and then all of a sudden, just to see what everyone else was doing, I learned so much about my colleagues that I would never ever have learned had we not had that WhatsApp group, like the skills and, things that people enjoy doing in their spare time. And I never knew, absolutely never knew.
Another COVID silver lining.
Yeah.
I've got one final question for you. It's about the programme and how it came together, because you said earlier, Rowena, about how you thought it was an opportunity to perform music that doesn't actually get performed that often and have a bit more variety. How did you make those decisions about which pieces you wanted to present here?
That's the beauty of it. You just choose your favourite piece and get someone awesome to arrange it, or try and have a stab at arranging it yourself. And that it's not that unusual, but it's not that conventional. Also, this combination of instruments, which actually gives you a totally empty floor to do whatever you like, which is a real pull for both of us. So I think we feel very free with the repertoire that we can attempt. And we also have some things in the pipeline which aren't all classical as well. I feel like we can really do anything because we're stepping out of the box by doing a lot of our own arrangements or other people's arrangements. Yeah. So basically we just choose pieces that we absolutely love and give it a go.
And that comes across too as well.
Yeah, it'd be cool actually to do some orchestral arrangements. Yeah. Maybe something like Night on the Bare Mountain, Mussorgsky.
Wow,
list, I don't know.
We have a lot of ideas, a lot in the pipeline,
That's a lot of notes for the two of you to play though. A lot of notes. Well, brilliant. Well, thank you so much again, Rhys and Rowena, for bringing this fantastic programme to LSO St Luke's and for sharing it with our online audience. Thank you to all of you for watching at home. Don't forget that next week we will have another Summer Shorts streamed online again. That programme will be a piano trio performing music by Hannah Kendall, Judith Langzamont and Rachmaninoff. The full details of that concert will be on the LSO website and on our social media channels. In the meantime, have a wonderful weekend and bye for now.